Hey guys, Blessing here, and how are you all doing? You guys can see from the caption what we are going to talk about today. So sit very, very well, get something to drink while we get right into this video. Welcome back. Great to have you guys. This is a live stream in case you get to watch the replay. We are not going to stay too long. You guys know that I have been on some kind of sabbatical. I haven't been regular online, and I am not ready to come out of that. But I just thought, okay, let me just quickly do this one and continue with whatever I am doing. Ah, hi Treasure, how are you? Juanita, missed you too. Missed you too. Adana says old story. Oh, but you're here to hear the old story. Good to have you here too, Adana. Please just sit down very well. Fasten your seatbelt and enjoy this old story with us. So you're confirming that it is true. You guys know I do not come here very often. I'm not a very regular bird here, but when I come out with those bullets. I come out with receipts. I come out with my top-notch analysis. At least I try. So like I said, we're gonna get right to the point. Fire! Oh my God, Fire! Good to have you. I'm not back yet. I'm just sneaking in on you guys. I'm not back yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm just I'm just cheating right now. Just the same way Korra Obidi cheated twice. So the story we have been fed with all along is that, well, after the traditional marriage, Korra Obidi, well, she also wrote in her book that she met up with a stranger and one thing led to the other, and she cheated and she told her husband about it. But now I am discovering something else, that that man that she cheated with, that she confessed about in her book, was not the only man she cheated with during their marriage. Nancy Umeh has also come out to say that Korra Obidi cheated on Justin Dean with her ex-boyfriend. You guys see a picture that I had to conceal his face because we look, 100% this guy was Korra Obidi's ex-boyfriend. I know him. I don't know him personally, but I have found him out. 100% the picture you see here is that. Let me get a more, um, I think a better picture that you can see. I want to be really quick. I want to be out of here in 20 minutes. Where is that picture? Yes, this is a better picture. He is still a dancer. You guys know, she talked about someone they ran a dance studio together with. I'm talking about Korra Obidi. She wrote in her book, this guy, they ran a dance studio together. The guy still runs his dance studio. He still dances. He still teaches dance professionally. So this is Korra Obidi, 100%. This is Korra Obidi's ex-boyfriend. But what is not 100% is if this is the ex-boyfriend she cheated with. We are going to get to that. Before we get to what Nancy said, let me read an excerpt from the book. This is what the book tells us. I'm going to read just a short portion of it. This one says, okay. Okay, sorry about that. Let me see. A girlfriend of mine invited me out to dinner. I went there and turned out to be, okay, I'm gonna get the other phone. This one is a bit difficult for me to read from. Let me see. Yes. A, a girlfriend of mine invited me out to dinner. I went there and it turned out to be a fancy late night boat cruise with some of the most influential men in the country at the time. I was both shocked and surprised at such a spontaneous opportunity gifted by the universe. I met Jack. I met Jack. That is the Jack she ended up cheating with. This is her book that she wrote. We are not making this up. This is from her book, her confession. Unfaithful. Okay. Unfaithful. Jack was so charming, very hospitable by nature and generous. As soon as he met us, he immediately bought a drink for the table. He was charismatic too. Jack made my night at the party. He was a gentleman and dropped me home. So this was after the marriage, after Justine had paid her bride price, gotten married to her, traditionally killed the goat, killed the cows, performed all the traditional rituals and all the other things that he had to do to call Korra Obidi his wife. He went back to the USA to wait for her and apply for her visa so that she would be able to join him in the US so that they can live together happily ever after as husband and wife. He was there busy trying to put all the paperwork together. She was back in Lagos, gallivanting and, having the time of her life. So I'm going to continue from the lower part. The next week, Jack invited me for dinner. That is a married woman we are reading about. So a week after she met Jack, so Jack was a stranger to her, but Nancy Umeh is going to tell us that Korra Obidi cheated with her ex-boyfriend. We are going to get there. So this stranger called Jack. The next week, Jack invited me for dinner, and that was the best sushi I had ever had. I had lived in China, but it was by far better than anything I had in China. He proceeded to show me parts of my city I had never seen, and I was blown away. It was one of those nights you only see in movies, heavily curated to the T by this new stranger. A stranger, a married woman going on date with a stranger. I bet she didn't tell her husband what she was doing at the time. So I'm going to continue reading. I had another gig, this time a stadium gig, one where I couldn't go myself. I casually mentioned it in a conversation we were having. She continued the conversation with a stranger. Next thing I knew, Jack booked an appointment for my hair, my nails, and in Lagos, nothing goes for nothing. Nothing goes for nothing. Nobody is Father Christmas. Nobody is Santa Claus. You use what you have to get what you want. So when a man starts to spend money on you like this, you're not his sister, you're not his daughter, you're not his niece. He wants a piece of your flesh. And as long as you're leading him on and accepting his gestures, you are willing to give him that thing and you're going to give him that thing. As a married woman, even if you thought, okay, he's just been kind to me. Did you tell your husband about it? That, oh, I met this stranger and he's helping me out? No. So it was all premeditated cheating. It wasn't like, oh, I made a mistake. I cheated on my husband. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Oh, I was drunk. No, this was all planned. This was all well thought out. Someone you were talking to, having conversations with, going out on dates with, doing all these things, allowing to spend money on you. So it was not a mistake. She knew exactly what she was doing. She just was going to cheat on her husband. I'm going to continue to read. Jack booked an appointment for my hair and nails. I show up and get the most amazing installation and nails I have ever had. At exactly 6 p.m., my armed escort and driver picked me up. take me to my gig, and then make an amazing video of my performance. I am flabbergasted at how proactive this man is. Wow. I am grateful. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, Chukwu Fumnaya, are you mad? What are you doing? Let me get the other page. What are you doing? Where is it? Where is it? What are you doing encouraging all the advances when your husband is in America, waiting for your black nyash? So already her conscience was telling her. So this wasn't a mistake. It's different when a woman makes a mistake and slips, and oh my God, I really effed up. No, even her mind was telling her. So she had that moment of reflection of, okay, what am I doing? That was when she should have pulled back. But as long as she continued, she chose to do it. It was a choice. It was not a mistake to cheat. But that's not even the bone of contention. Where we are heading to is Jack was not the only one she slept with as a married woman. Okay. Encouraging all the advances when your husband is in America waiting for your black yash. So I pulled the brakes on everything and thanked kind Jack for their generosity and proceeded to wait for Donald Trump. He shows up at my house, which at the time I lived rent-free with my best friend, Rich. Rich is the guy, think he's Caucasian, but he's based in Mexico now. He used to live in Lagos. The one she calls the best friend, the one who was also her bridesmaid, that guy. Yeah. So she was living for free in his house. Everything for free. When people do stuff for you for free, you feel like you can pay them back with your body. What does that make you? Let me continue to read the one below. We drive away and I proceed to explain my situation. That was when he opened up about being married. Oh my God, that was heavy. We were both married. Mine was official, no court or white wedding, but traditional. And traditional for us is the biggest. Is the biggest. If you go ahead and do your court wedding and you do your white wedding or whatever it's called, deep down inside of you, you still feel like you still need to get married. Okay, but traditional. We talked for a long time, all the vulnerabilities spewing left and right. One thing led to another. We cheated. A married man slept with a married woman whose name is Korra Obidi. Now, we just read from her book how she slept with Jack, a stranger. Now, let's listen to Nancy Umeh as she told us that Korra Obidi slept with her ex-boyfriend. When we did trad is an abbreviation for traditional marriage. She wanted to lie. She said when we were dating, then she corrected herself when we did trad. So let Nancy narrate the ex-boyfriend part of this story for us. When you were there, you finished like to be morning break. I saw my ex-boyfriend. That's all we do one thing. I told you, this is. We were on a break. This is Nancy's version. She said Korra Obidi and Justin Dean fought, and then they were on a break, and then she saw her ex-boyfriend. One thing led to another. But the book tells us that they were not on a break. that in fact Justin Dean told her to call him every night. And that night that she went to that party, she did not call him. So they were not fighting. She did not call him. She forgot to call him. She was having a good time. They were not fighting. They were not on a break. But Nancy trying to cover up for her promiscuous younger sister, her cheating younger sister. This is not a good example of a woman. Now, I'm going to play that ex-boyfriend part again so that we can put both together or side by side. I saw my ex-boyfriend. That's what we wanted. I told you, this is what we did. You said no problem. I forgive you. And then how many years later, I come to talk about, oh, that's the reason why you're divorcing. And then it's other reasons. Right. So now, Korra Obidi herself confessed she cheated on Justin Dean with a stranger called Jack. Nancy Umeh is telling us that Korra Obidi cheated with her ex-boyfriend. I'm not going to show his face because, like I said, this man here is Korra Obidi's ex-boyfriend, 100%. But we do not know if this is the same one Nancy Umeh was referring to, because we don't know how many ex-boyfriends Korra Obidi has or had. Yeah, has. We do not know. So we are not sure if this is that same one Nancy Umeh was referring to or another one. But this is the ex-boyfriend that Korra Obidi wrote about in her book, that she said she went to his house, ended up in his father's room, and the man was fondling her breast. This is the ex-boyfriend that Korra Obidi wrote about. But Korra Obidi did not tell us that she cheated with an ex-boyfriend. She said she cheated with Jack, a married man, a married stranger. But Nancy is telling us about Korra Obidi sleeping with her ex-boyfriend after marriage. So Korra Obidi did not write everything in her book. So now we have two people that she potentially slept with, one confirmed by her, one said by her sister. And when Nancy was saying it, Korra Obidi was sitting there with her. Nancy said it when she was in the US, in Korra Obidi's living room. Korra Obidi did not flinch. She didn't say, oh, no, it wasn't my ex-boyfriend, it was some stranger. She did not. So Korra did not just cheat on Justin once, but at least twice as a married woman. Once we can say, okay, a mistake. When you do it twice, it makes you a whore. My advice to women, if you know that you cannot keep your legs closed, do not marry any man. Do not put any man through what Justin Dean has had to go through in the name of I'm married to a princess who now turns out not to be a princess. Because when you have a princess as a wife, princesses are very delicate. They are very, noble. They are virtuous. They do not go around having boyfriends or sleeping around with ex-boyfriends when they get married. Men would go and propose in the palace to their father. They would go ask their parents before they would even want to talk or open their mouth to talk to the princess. Okay, that might be a little old-fashioned, but just to give you an idea of how, how decent princesses are viewed. But this one is a loose girl, at least from what we have heard here from her sister and what we read in her book. Young girls out there, you want to look up to Korra Obidi, that's fine. You want to look up to Nancy Umeh, that is also fine, your choice. But do not follow in their footsteps. Nothing to emulate here, nothing to be proud of here. When you get married to a man, be sure you are married to a man that you can keep yourself when you both are maybe not in the same place or in the same city. Maybe he has to travel, maybe he is going to get incarcerated, maybe anything can just separate the both of you. If you cannot be decent, if you cannot be faithful to that man, do not marry him. You cannot desecrate the union called marriage because you are loose. But when you fall in love with the right one, the man after your heart, it's difficult for you to spread your legs for a stranger or for an ex-boyfriend. It's only a loose woman that would easily sleep with a stranger they just met because he spent money for her on her and bought sushi for her. Only a loose woman would do that, or go in search of an ex-boyfriend just because you cannot keep your legs closed for a couple of months while your husband was busy trying to bring you over to join him. You were busy destroying and committing abominable acts. And you went to the US, you did not confess to him. You did not open up. You cleaned your mouth like nothing happened. Only 2 years later, because she moved to the US in 2018, and then in 2020, she had a mental breakdown and she found herself saying these things to Justin. So she kept it as a secret for 2 years before she finally confessed. Women, do not be that slut. Women, do not be a harlot as a married woman. You want to be a harlot? Be single and live your life. You only live once. But the moment you tell yourself, I want to settle down with a man who is trying his best to be with me, don't use that man. I don't care about his color. It really doesn't matter where he's from or his race. A man is a man. Don't say, oh, it doesn't matter. That one is Caucasian. He's not an African man, so it doesn't matter. No. As long as he has paid your bride price, as long as he has married you, as long as he has married you, the spiritual connotation that goes with marriage is going to stand against you. And that marriage will not hold. It will not stand. Part of the reason spiritually, possibly, why this marriage did not work out, because it was based on lies, on deceit, and on cheating. Not once, but at least twice. God knows how many more men Korra Obidi possibly slept with while she was married with Justin Dean. I do not know. I do not have receipts to that. But, if we can be finding things out that she didn't put in her book, then God knows how many more we do not know about. So women, try to be decent. Don't be a whore. Don't be a harlot. If you're married, stay married. Try. I think I'm going to leave it here for now. Maybe just read one or two comments. I know it's not easy, I know it's not easy, but it's good you be a good example for your children, especially when you have daughters, you have girls. What do you want to teach your girls? What do you want to tell them? What excuse would you give them for sleeping with other men, for opening your legs as a woman to other men? For what reason? What reason would you give them? Oh, your dad was away for some months. For some months, not even years. You cannot even keep yourself for months. You cannot even, maybe high libido, I don't know, but there is no excuse. And this is not just to be judgmental. This is just like, oh my God, Another expose, something we did not know. It wasn't just one man, at least two men that she slept with as Justin Dean's wife. How much can a man take? How many men would not dump a woman like this? How many men would not abandon a promiscuous wife like this? Tell me how many men. Missed you all so much. Fire, thank you so much for checking up on me. Thank you to all of you. Go ahead and share the video. I'm going to end it right here. We've been here now for 25 minutes. Someone says, so she was effing with the African American man and keeping the Oyinbo man as a fool to pay her bills. Well, someone says, Jack is Joe Nazal, a Lebanese music producer. He's married and has a son and a daughter. And the man told you he was married, and you told him you were married, and both of you still decided to go on. Adulterous women. This is an adulterous woman. 100% adulterous. And then your husband possibly spoke with you that night. You pretended like nothing happened. And he was busy trying to put paperwork together. That's the shame in this story. It wasn't like, oh, he just left you in Nigeria. No, he was trying his best to bring you over to the US. And you were there sleeping with a married man and an ex-boyfriend. Like, and then you come out and want to complain about that same man. He would really get so many views if it's all about views. If he would come and narrate how his so-called wife was sleeping around if he had to do that, the same way you have been lamenting, oh, I was homeless, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me, he called me a wench, he called me a parasite. Maybe you were a parasite because you had nothing to offer. As a woman, maybe you came empty-headed. You had nothing to offer. You were not really contributing. You were a parasite to his life. And that should really be a message to your Koreans who believe that you were feeding Justin or he was using you. You had nothing when you came to the US. Or they don't know the meaning of a parasite. For a man to call you a parasite, you were feeding on him. You were not offering anything. If you were providing and he was taking all your money in 2018, he would never call you a parasite. If he truly did. It was in 2021 that you started to earn money. So how did you feed in 2018? How did you feed in 2019? How did you feed and live and survive in 2020? You were a parasite. Okay. One says, she has sampled every single dick there was when she was sent to Dubai and China, and before she baited and rude Justin. Hi, Annette. Good evening. Hello, Sharil. Okay. So, ladies, please take note. And when you see people like this, be careful what you pray for. Don't say, oh God, these people look so beautiful on my phone. They look so good on camera. God, please bless me with something like this. Do not pray that prayer because you don't know what happens behind closed doors. You don't know how many men they are sleeping with, but they will come and show you how in love they are with their husband. Don't pray for things you do not know inside out. As long as you're not living in the same house with them, do not pray to have anything you see on Facebook. do not pray for it. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to end it here. I appreciate all of you for being here. I want to ask all of you to go ahead, share the video if you want. Give it a thumbs up. I'll be back as soon as, like, sooner than you guys can imagine. Just taking some time off for now. Subscribe to the page where applicable. If you like my content, you can join my membership on YouTube. I remain BlessingNjoh, the analyst, and I will catch you all on my next one. Oh my God, I couldn't read all of your comments, but I will try before I end the live stream, or after I end the live stream rather. Bye guys, miss you all so much. We'll be back very soon.